a place where everyone can be happy. It's the most beautiful place in the whole fucking world. It's made of candy canes and planes and bright red choo-choo trains and the meanest little boys, most innocent little girls. And you know, I wish that I could go there. It's a road that I have not found.
Buy this car to drive to work to pay for this car. Buy this car to drive to work to work.
Welcome to Yellow Brick Road. I'm Jordan, and today I'm going to use some dumb guy logic going over 2 Jimmy Dore clips. That's right, but first, please consider donating to Devon's Journey to Recovery. The GoFundMe link is in the description box. Click the link, read the story, check out the other donations, and if you got like $5 or more laying around, that's the GoFundMe minimum, $5. Fuck them. But yeah, if you got $5 or more laying around, you want to donate to a charity, you can at Devon's Journey to Recovery. GoFundMe link in the description box. All right, so as you can see, I have a video up here of Jimmy Dore and Shahid Buttar. Hopefully I said that right. Now, I listened to the entire, most of the live stream that he was on, and, you know, listening to it, it's like, oh, it sounds like this guy means well. He sounds like he has a pretty good information about the world, right? So that would put him in a decently, relatively high scoring moral intelligence, according to my equation. But obviously, right, if you want the highest, the up there moral intelligence, you have to have knowledge of yourself, right? I'll put it in a pretty quick little metaphor, right? If a flashlight can tell you shine a flashlight on something and it tells you all the information about it, it's like, oh wow, that's interesting. So whoever holds the flashlight must have all the knowledge in the world, right? They could just, pierce something with the light and boom, they know it. It's like, no, it doesn't work that way. See, you got to know. Not only do you need to know the flashlight, but you need to know the hand that's holding the flashlight, and you need to know the mind that's controlling the hand that's controlling the flashlight. See that? So if you don't have knowledge of yourself, it's not useless, but it's necessary if you want to be in that caliber of moral intelligence, if that's your goal. All right? And I think his goal is to do well by others. So hopefully he's done that, or he's going to do that. If he hasn't done it, he needs to start over and try and do that. which leads us to this clip. Trust me, it plays a role. Here we go. Jimmy Dore and Shahid Buttar, and Jimmy asks a very interesting question, and Shahid has an answer for him. Here we go.
So, because we have this jungle primary, it doesn't really matter what party you're in when you run. So why?
That's right.
So, I mean, you're not. You share no values with the Democratic Party as it is today. So why not take this unique opportunity to run outside the party?
Because I want to take the party over. I mean, beyond liberating one seat, if we knock out Pelosi, the value proposition here ultimately is to send a signal across the country that no Democrat who is a centrist is safe in any urban area. Ocasio-Cortez started that in the last cycle. I think if she knocked out the number 3 Democrat in the corporate cabal. If we take out the leader, the signal that sends, I mean, I'm playing for marbles much bigger than one congressional seat. And if I ran for some other party, it would just be for the seat that I would be contending. But I'm contending much more than the seat. I mean, we are here to remove the corporate co-optation of the Democratic Party. I often say that my candidacy proposes to end the bipartisan consensus on corporate rule. In that respect, I feel a great deal of alignment, inspiration with the next president. Bernie Sanders has been pounding this drum for 50 years. And, I've been doing it for 20. I don't have his longevity, but I do have the same depth of commitment and the same demonstration of commitment to putting people before profit and communities before corporations my entire career.
All right, so we'll stop there. I played that a lot longer than I wanted to initially. But, all right, so here's the question. Jimmy asks him, do you want, like, wouldn't you rather start a new party than join the Democratic Party? And Shahid's answer is, like, no, I want to take it over. And me, using my dumb guy logic, I will say, yeah, take it over. I like that idea. If I could set pieces in place the way I want them to, it would be to take over that party. But the answer is incomplete because I would also want to take over all of it. All of it. No more room for corruption, period. Right? A large group of well-meaning people with an understanding of the world, right? An understanding of themselves. That's what should be in charge of government, right? Just dumb guy logic. Duh. Obviously, right? Instead of at Politicon seeing Cenk Uygur and Ben Shapiro debating each other, right? Two, to me, malignant versions of what politics is supposed to be, debating each other. It's like, you want, to me, I would say you'd want a well-meaning, left-leaning person with knowledge of the world, knowledge of themselves, and the same on the right, right? So that they're not arguing about, menial fucking topics and bullshit and gossipy type content. Instead, they're arguing about, okay, you agree that everyone in the world should be taken care of. Oh, you agree with that too. How do we do it? And that's it. There's debating about how do we get this done? In which case it would probably turn into something like a mixture of both. Right? It's not someone on the right being prideful about capitalism. It's not someone on the left being prideful about socialism. Right? It's all about, like, I put my bullshit aside in order to make things better for everyone. That's my only purpose in doing this. We don't have that. We do not have that. We have people who will seemingly be in opposition to each other. But when it comes down to these very important issues, they line right up. Something like war. Imagine if there was no war in the world. That's possible. But we let the malignancy just go off and do it. And we hope to change them every 4 years. Or move them a little bit every 4 years. That is a master-slave relationship right there. Of, we're going to ask you to please do something we want. It's like, they don't have to do it. Right? They don't have to. So we have to ask them, please consider Medicare for all, please. Instead of, hey, you guys need us. We don't need you. Yeah, we're going to do this now. You can't do anything about it. All right, Fight Club's like, we're your drivers. We pump your gas. We fix your houses. We do your plumbing. It's like, we're everywhere. You're in small spots. No violence, though, of course. But yeah, we could change things overnight. Seriously, literally, people can change things overnight. When? I don't know. Will I do it? Let the kids play. All right, so yeah, my response to that, to Shahid, like, okay, you sound like you mean well, and your intentions, right? Your intentions, you mean well. You talked about the CIA and their involvement in the world and all. He sounds pretty knowledgeable about out here. But I have to ask, are you a man of the times, or are you recognized by the fucking universe? To where it's like, oh, The universe the universe looks at that person like they're a fucking statue made of, Wolverine's claws or something. That metal, whatever it is, fucking vibranium. We're like, oh, that shit ain't moving. That shit's staying there forever. I hope he's the latter, the established one, the fully recognized person, right? It's like, aren't we the universe in a way, or at least parts of it? So when we observe ourselves, it's almost like the universe can recognize us. All right, I'm going too far off into the woo-woo. Forgive me. Let's go back down. Let's go back down to earth. Go back down to earth with the dumb guy logic. So, all right, I'm just gonna play like the very beginning of this Jimmy Dore video, and Stef and Jimmy say something very interesting. Here we go.
So I don't know if you were watching the impeachment trial. Last night I saw it was on. I'm on the West Coast. It was midnight. I flipped through the channels. It was still going on. So that's 3 a.m. their time, right? That's nuts. Why do they pretend like they have to do that in the middle of the night? Why
are they acting like this impeachment is such hard work and they couldn't be doing that shit
right
all the time, getting us health care for everybody, giving us infrastructure, giving us a jobs program, working 24 hours until those things are handled.
I know shit, right?
Right? When have you seen Congress do that shit on behalf of the people
before
they go out on vacation?
Hey, we got to get to. There's people sleeping in the streets. We got to address this right now. We got to do legislation at 3 a.m. No.
And that's all I wanted and needed to play. All right, just dumb guy logic looking at it. It's like, you guys are up in the middle of the night figuring out this bullshit impeachment thing. Like, trying to make it seem like if you get rid of Trump, the world is fixed all of a sudden. Right? Aren't these corporate Democrats trying to make it seem that way? Like, what they really want is the things that go back to the old way. The Obama, Bush era, Clinton era, Reagan. They want to go back to that era of things where you just shut up and trust whoever's in there, and whoever smile you like more, you pick them as president. That's what they want to go back to, but they can't. They can't go back to it. They're trying to, but they won't be able to. Right? They're probably hoping, like, come on, young Turks, you can do it for us. Get them to fall back into the left-right paradigm, please. But I don't think the youth is buying that shit. And obviously older people, too. There's too many people that are aware of things happening. You can even say, like, that Epstein shit played a large role in, like affecting the consciousness of people to where they're like, oh, well, if that just happened and somebody just got away with that happened and someone got away with it, right? These guys are in the highest levels of, the prisons and judges and lawyers and all this shit. And like, man, he just got away with that. Someone killed the dude and got away with it. Fuck, are they even, like, looking into this case? So it's like, at least on the subconscious level, people are like, I don't trust these motherfuckers. So I don't think they're going to have their old style politics back. Trump played a large role too. The character he played, that played a large role. Granted, he's dragging people back to the old style of politics as well, which makes me think, I get a little conspiracy minded, like, oh, maybe he was a ploy to get these independent type of thinking type of people, conspiracy-minded people, and bring them back into normal, old-school, left-right paradigm politics, right? What were you screaming for when you got them elected, right? It was like, revolution, revolution. Now it's jobs, lower taxes, support the troops no matter what. All that shit, right? What has Trump been doing? It's an evangelical leaning. It's lower taxes for corporations so the jobs and the money trickles down to other people. It's like, oh, that's That's George Bush. We just had that not that long ago. Who's he's filled his cabinet with? Goldman Sachs and neocons all over the fucking place. Say, oh, that's George Bush. But, once again, my conspiracy theory that he's trying to drag people with a rebellious mind back into normalized politics. Good thing he got Alex Jones on his side to do that. But anyways, yeah, just dumb guy logic looking at it, right? Now I say this, I thought people were doing it consciously, but maybe not. Maybe it's subconsciously happening to where they're viewing politics as moral questions, right? At least on a subconscious level. Thus, when, like, we see this, like, if someone cheats on their wife, it's like, oh, your campaign's finished for her. Or Bill Clinton gets impeached. Or whatever, right? He got impeached for lying about it, but that definitely made the public look at him sideways, right? Because you're supposed to be a moral champion of the people. Right? Well, with the Bernie Sanders thing, right? Even though most people didn't believe it, but I'm sure some did. And you look at it, and what turns them away from Bernie Sanders? Like, oh, the moral stuff, right? It's not illegal to say, oh, a woman can't win the presidency. That's not illegal. What is it? Like, oh, it says something about his character. It's like, oh, that's what you guys seem to be acting on. Right? The Kyle Kalinskis and Medicare for all. That'll help so many people. Why do you care to help? Like, oh, it's a moral thing. Jimmy Dore, when he rants and raves about corruption and wherever. Oh, it's a moral thing. Gotcha. TYT might be a branding thing. Well, Jenk sounds like a branding thing. And at least, I think there's something to her in regards to, like, going on what's right and what's wrong. I think her goggles she's viewing the world with is all smoggy and fucked up. But I think there's a spark of something there. Jenk just seems like he tapped out a while ago. He's like, okay. He seems like he just tapped out and just repeats phrases and brand names and say, yeah, that's keep people coming back here. Okay. Yeah, I think the game's about morality. So if someone in their own mind, like, okay, my only job is to come up with policy to make people's lives better, and the reason I'm doing this is because it's a moral pursuit. It's like, oh, you would expect these guys to be up all the time. Not all the time, right? They got to get some sleep. But they'd be fucking working like fucking crazy to get shit done. But nothing ever seems to really change. Right? It's like, oh, well, it's got to go through Congress and the House, and they got to vote on it, and, this team won't agree with this team, and blah, blah, blah. It's like, oh, that's because they're not there for a moral pursuit. Some of them could be. Like, I believe Bernie Sanders and a Tulsi Gabbard are there for a moral pursuit. And what's his name? Mike Lee. I don't know that much about him, but when I saw that little interview when he got the intelligence about the Soleimani killing, like, he looked fucking pissed off. Like, what the freak is this? And then he did legislation with Bernie Sanders in regards to getting our weapons out of Saudi Arabia's hands, and they're using it for a fucking genocide in Yemen. It's like, oh, I look at that guy. I'm like, oh, okay. Once again, I don't know that much about him. These are the only two incidents I know him from. But I'm like, that's fucking interesting. This guy might mean well. The problem is most of them don't. Things would be moving a lot quicker if a Republican who's staunchly capitalistic, he said capitalism's the way, capitalism is how you fix things, and on he says that, and then he looks at a scenario, and it's like, if we use capitalism, it'll take 10 years to get these guys back into their houses, but if we sign this grant right here, it'll put these people back in their homes. Like, a well-meaning person would be like, fuck, we got to help them now. And then we're gonna slowly start piecing in this capitalistic ideology, so that once we hit a flat line, once they're out of the negative, then we start building towards the positive. That sounds like a well-meaning person, all right? As opposed to playing the role of, I'm a Republican, so I'm capitalistic. Thus, I have to play this role. Thus, they have to wait 10 years before they can get a house. Trust me, it'll trickle down someday. Right? It's just using dumb guy logic. That's all. This video went way longer than I thought. Whatever. Alright, that's it for me. Please subscribe if you like, comment, agree, disagree. I guess I went over 2 topics here. Just tell me what you think. Right? You don't have to use dumb guy logic like I am. You can be all well thought out and shit. You can do that. Don't forget to donate. Devon's Journey to Recovery GoFundMe link in the description box. With all that said, give this video a thumbs down.
Say you wanna get in.